getting really annoyed. I was here on my front porch, enjoying this beautiful day, wonderful, beautiful sunny day, lots of clouds, lots of birds, very gorgeous summer afternoon. But I am getting annoyed because this is crashing, and I'm tired of it crashing. I'm looking at the US dollar here. I was just on my laptop working. I decided to look this up, and today it's crashing. It was staying stable, and now it's down. It came down lower low, lower low, a little bit of a recovery there, but it failed, and it's going down, and it just won't stop. This is today. This is the last 5 days. It was pretty stable. I've been trying to, earn more income in US dollars. I was trying to sell some of my stocks to put it in my savings vehicle, which is Bitcoin. But the dollar just started crashing again. I mean, it's not the first time it's done this. Granted, it's actually up over the month, so I shouldn't complain too hard here. But still, it's really annoying. Last 6 months, the dollar has crashed. Year to date, the dollar has crashed. Over the last 1 year, the dollar has crashed. Granted, there was a little distribution up here in November and December. I really should have taken advantage of that more when my dollars were trading so much higher. But if you go out 3 years, 5 years, it's the same thing. It's just more and more dramatic the farther and farther out I go. Going out all the way, in just the last, decade, or not even decade, the dollar has fallen 98.91%. And it's just getting really annoying. Like, can someone write the government and please ask them to stop like printing money? Like, I'm getting really tired of this. You know, I'm getting really tired. And all these Bitcoin bears out there, they're hating on Bitcoin, saying that, oh, it uses too much energy, oh, it's a scam or whatever. It's like, can you guys please work harder? I mean, like, I know I go to the podcast and like I destroy your arguments and everything, but I'm not really trying that hard. I'm just going on shows, talking about how Bitcoin actually is none of those things. I really would think with all your funding, with all your financial incentive, that you would be doing a better job at keeping Bitcoin's exchange rate in terms of US dollars down. And you're just not. I'm sorry. And it's getting really annoying because how am I supposed to buy my sats? How am I supposed to save in Bitcoin as much as I can when the dollar keeps collapsing? I mean, and I suppose I shouldn't be too annoyed because while I can complain about this chart here, the US dollar, as much as I want, at the end of the day, the US dollar is the least bad fiat currency of all. And even though it's down 98.9%, if you look at the lira, it's having the same problem here today. If I was not American but Turkish, I'd be having even worse day. Same thing with the 5 days, same thing with the month. See, they're actually down for the month here. If I look at the US dollar over the last month, it's actually up for the month. So, I have that benefit, because I'm a rich, spoiled, fat American Westerner here. But, if I was in Turkey, that would not be the case. It wouldn't even be up. And, go up for 6 months, year to date, 1 year, 5 year, out to the max. It's even more dramatic, and it may not seem like a big difference to people, but, if you go out to the max here, a 98.91% drop is not nearly as bad as a 99.89% drop because people, we have trouble with exponential math. It's like the first 90% drop is a 90% loss, but then going from 90% to 99% is another 90% drop. And then going from 99% to 99.9% is another one. So the difference between a 98% loss and a 99% loss is another additional loss of 50%. So even though the long-term percentages look pretty similar between the US dollar and Bitcoin and then the lira and Bitcoin, the real magnitude here is actually very significant. And obviously the Turkish lira is not the only foreign fiat currency in the world. There are over 100 of them. Here you have the Philippine peso, again, going out 5 days, 6 months. I don't know why the colors are right here, but it's the same chart, So I'm sure they're quite annoyed too about how the government's printing so much money. And then, the euro, of course, more Western nations see they have the benefit over the last month that the euro has actually gone up, again, comparing to these non-Western economies, these non-Western fiat currencies, they're not up for the month. But the euro's up, so I suppose Europeans have that going for them. But again, going at 6 months, year to date, 1 year, 5 year, and then max, it's the same thing. They're down 98.87%. So, comparing that to the United States, it's about the same here, because Europe and America are both like the economic powerhouses of the world. So, anyway, I guess I'm just making this to say to people, like, hey, can you guys like sell more Bitcoin? I keep getting all these messages and all these hate tweets and DMs of people that are criticizing me, saying I'm full of BS, that I'm a clown, or that I'm a joke, or that my arguments don't make sense. It's like, yeah, can you please keep selling it? Because it gets so annoying. I don't check Bitcoin price, but when I'm out here on a beautiful day, working as hard as I can, trying to make as much income as I can, and save as much of my purchasing power for the future as I can, all that keeps happening is that you guys keep failing at pushing price down. So it really means the world to me if you're watching this and you're a Bitcoin bear, if you could please be more bearish, please put out more FUD. I would love to stack more sats when they're cheap before the ETFs get approved and before the governments get involved. Because obviously this rare period in history is not going to last forever. But if you could just put out more FUD, put out the FUD pumping machine, that'd be great. XRP fans, if you could really keep leveraging Greenpeace or whatever, and your huge marketing budget to negatively have a campaign against Bitcoin, that'd mean the world to me. And if you're Jerome Powell and you're watching this, or if you're in the United States government, you're watching this, please stop printing money. Like, I know it's like your thing, I know it's what you do, but if you could just stop doing that for a little longer, give the market some sort of fueled hopium that the dollar is actually going to go up and rally, or whatever, and give market a false sense of confidence that you're actually going to keep your promises and not keep printing money and adding millions of dollars for unfunded liabilities every few seconds here. That would be great. It really mean a lot. If we could get a distribution kind of like we did in the last few months here, where the dollar like had that distribution where Bitcoin traded down in terms of the dollar, where the dollar traded up in terms of Bitcoin. That'd be great. I really appreciate that. But I suppose this video is kind of in vain because I know it's not really going to do anything, and I know it's not really going to change anyone's opinion. I'm just a 24-year-old sitting on my porch here, I guess, shaking my fist into the void, asking you to do something that you inherently can't do because you can't stop printing, you can't stop the FUD, and even though it's kind of abysmal how pathetically it's working, you'll keep trying, but unfortunately it's not working. Unfortunately, Bitcoin is going up despite that. So, I mean, I guess just try a little more. That'd be great. Like, man, I would love it. You could just get it back up to these levels, that we had back in November, December of 2022, where the dollar had the artificial pump there. Man, I would really love it. Could you just go out there and say, oh, we're going to pump interest rates some more. Oh, just scare people, that'd be great. You could just scare people with recession or depression or have people just put a bunch of people on the news, put a bunch of people in government chairs that say they're scared of depression, make them, scare them into holding dollars. That's what I'm asking you to do, because that'd be great. Since I'm earning my income in dollars, and I could buy more Bitcoin for cheap, which means ultimately you'll get less. So I know you won't do it. But anyway, I guess I'll have to go back to my day and just keep working, having to accept the fact that my currency of choice, the US dollar, has just lost roughly 3% of its purchasing power against Bitcoin. I don't have to be content that I happen to see this and I happen to see this frustration more than everyone else in the world, or at least a large number of people in the world, And unfortunately, it's because people are looking at it from the wrong frame of reference here, Instead, we invert these charts here. We look back at Bitcoin and not the dollar. People will see Bitcoin's going up. So, yeah, I guess all I have to say is that, many of my friends aren't into Bitcoin, think that I'm having a good day because, oh, look at how rapidly Bitcoin's skyrocketing. Wow, that's like a 3% move in just a few hours. Wow, you must be so happy, Luke. Wow, you must be, whatever. It's like, no, I'm actually kind of annoyed. I mean, Bitcoin going up in price is nice because it's vindicating and it shows that this 24-year-old, college dropout that doesn't know anything or whatever actually is correct, or at least directionally correct. So that is vindicating. That does feel a little nice, but it's also bittersweet because it's like, dang, I should have stacked more sats. I should have gotten more Bitcoin. I should have, but I'm fighting an exponential trend of currency debasement, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful enough that I get to enjoy this beautiful day, knowing that I figured out currency debasement before 99% of the world did, before 99% of the rest of humanity did. So hopefully you figured it out too. Hopefully other people will figure it out too in the future. And I guess I'll just have to keep staying humble in the face of being proven right again and again. And I'll just keep to stacking sats while I still can, because I know I won't be able to forever.